And we may date the podcast here a little bit, but this is the 50th anniversary of the city, right?
It is, and we had a celebration in July for that, and it wasn't a one-off. Next year is going to be 51. The next year after that's going to be 52 and 53, and it's just a fantastic celebration. The city was incorporated in 1972. Obviously, been here a lot longer, but there's a lot of pride here. A lot of people that I think we had more than 10,000 show up to that event. We have more than 40,000 in this city, so one for every 4 person was actually at that event. So we consider that a success, and hopefully that's something we can continue to do that we've been given from our Board of Commissioners as far as a budget to kind of fund that and get the excitement brewing, and we hit the ground running for it.
Up and down Broadway, across the avenues, East Nashville to West End, Belmead and Bellevue, Midtown, Franklin, Green Hills, Brentwood, Donaldson and Hendersonville. The people, the places, the lifestyle, living, loving in the 615.
Welcome to the Pod 615 with your host, William Kitchens. In this episode number 6, Destination Mt Juliet, we visit with just a few of the people that make this charming city just east of Nashville, Tennessee, a wonderful place to live, work, and visit. William speaks with the Mt Juliet Chamber of Commerce President, Mark Hinesley, as well as the city's public information officer and former sports broadcaster for WSMV TV, Justin Beasley. We'll hear the stories behind Restore Hyper Wellness with Brett Wade, Wahlnut Woods custom Amish furniture from Valerie Wall, the Paper Mill Restaurant with owner Justin Ragan and chef Jonathan Humphrey. We'll also speak with 2 successful mother and daughter-run businesses, Reed and Mama Joyce from Cat's Bar and Grill, and Hope Alteri of Once Upon a Time by Amy, a children's clothing and gift boutique. We encourage you to support these wonderful businesses when visiting the city of Mt Juliet, and thank you for listening to the podcast. You'll find links to the guests and sponsors in the show notes and on the website at pod615.com. Please be sure to take a moment to rate and subscribe to the show. Mark Hinesley, President of the Mt Juliet Chamber of Commerce.
Mark, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today.
Hey, I appreciate the offer and never want to miss a chance to talk about all the great things that we have going on in Mt Juliet and why some of the listeners may want to come and see for themselves one day what all we have going on over here.
Yeah, the city seems to be thriving. There's a lot of activity going on, but for the small businesses that I've already spoken to, they're excited about being here. And even in an economic downturn, they're doing very well. I know the chamber plays a role in that, and community's growing. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and why the city's thriving so much?
Well, you know, I tell people we're drinking from a well that was dug a long time ago by other people, but the groundwork for this has been laid for many, many years. In 2022, Mt Juliet, we've been in a city for probably since the 1800s, but incorporated 50 years ago in 1972. So as that goes, we're still a baby in baby steps as a city, but Mt Juliet geographically being just east of Nashville, and more importantly, the Nashville airport, has put us in a fantastic spot. There's a lot of reasons why we're doing well, but it can't be lost on the fact that as Nashville goes, so goes the region, because Nashville is truly Tennessee's economic driver. It's the engine, if you will, and we are positioned geographically in a very, very ideal location, and we try to take advantage of that. But so many things make Mt Juliet, Wilson County, appealing. We still have affordable land. You can come out here and spread out. We are fortunate that Wilson County has an educational system that's tops in the state. We have 5 public high schools in Wilson County, and all of them are less than 22 or 23 years old. People from out of town will come in and they swear these look like college campuses. The facilities, the teachers, they're top-notch. Green Hill High School up on Lebanon Road in Mt Juliet last year, their graduation rate, I believe, was between 98 and 99%. So we've got nationally recognized schools That's got to be number one. Healthcare is another. We have tremendous resources in healthcare. People want to live in a community where they don't have to drive maybe to the inner city or to the big city to get their health care. We are just minutes away from world-class health care with Vanderbilt University, TriStar Summit, part of the HCA. We're nestled right between the two of them. Vanderbilt just had a ribbon cutting recently with a whole nother neurology department, whether it's chiropractic, emergency room, dental, vision, surgery, radiology, all of that stuff is now available within the city limits of Mount Juliet. It's fantastic. Shopping. Be remiss if we didn't talk about shopping. If you want to be able to eat and live and play and pray in the same town, you need some place to shop and spend your money. And Mount Juliet is a ripe spot for all types of retailers, from high-end down to the mom-and-pop open up on Lebanon Road. We had, on average, about 20 new business licenses or more per month. And back in the late 2000s, during the recession, the worst year, Mount Juliet still had 151 new business licenses in the worst year. So the word's out. It's no longer a secret.
What makes that so successful when other cities aren't doing as well?
There's a lot goes into it. I think, first of all, you have to have people that recognize the importance of shopping local. It is very, very challenging right now because I know it, you know it, they know it. There are not too many things that you can buy in Mount Juliet where you get in your car and go and you meet the shop owner and, they have it or they'll order it for you. Not too many things that you can't go online and probably have it to your house that afternoon or maybe even tomorrow. And so it's a very, very competitive market. But what we have out here are store owners that when you walk in, they know you by name. They sponsor your little kids, your child's Little League baseball team. They let the girls sell Girl Scout cookies outside on their sidewalk.
You go to school with them.
That's right. They're your friends.
You go to church with them.
The kids play together. They're in school together. And I think that has a lot to do with it. We work tirelessly with other partners to shop local. Mount Juliet has incredibly low taxes, a fraction of what most cities are, a small fraction. So we're driven and pay our bills primarily by sales tax. And sales tax, you either get more sales tax by getting more people to move in and spend their money, or you get the people that are already here to spend more money.
So how does the city maintain its small town charm with the growth that it's experienced? Because it really feels like a small town, but it's much larger than it appears.
Speaking of size-wise, a lot of what you see when you're driving up and down the street, even with a Mount Juliet address, it has a Mount Juliet address, but it's not in the incorporated city. And a lot of that has to do from the 1980s when they started the sewer system. The city limits pretty much encompassed those neighborhoods and areas that had access to the sewer. So a lot of these, literally, you can be driving down the road, down Mount Juliet Road, and you look to your left and it says Mount Juliet, but they're not in the city because, first of all, you don't annex them if they don't want to be. That's a state law. So, and we're filling in those pockets, but city limits incorporated just shy, a few hundred shy of 40,000 people, which is within a few hundred of what Lebanon is. And so, what do you get with a town like that? You have an incredible fireworks display. The city has I think Middle Tennessee's largest Easter egg hunt and Halloween in the Park, one of the largest Little Leagues with 13 fields in the entire southeastern United States.
So you're going after Goodlettsville?
Yeah, we'll see him in the World Series, but it's, it's a safe city. Many places in the country are not as fortunate right now, and they're going through real troubling times as they try to figure out what the role of the police might be in their community. Make no mistake about it, our community is 110% behind the police department, and you see every single day on social media officers out interacting with the community. And we were doing They were doing Coffee with a Cop years before Coffee with a Cop ever even was really anything to
It wasn't branded as such.
Not yet, and they are in the schools. They're everywhere out here, and they have an incredible social media presence. And if they put out a missing persons or a puppy lost, or there happens to be a horse that got out of the fence and is walking down Old Lebanon Dirt Road, citizens come together and really help each other out. It's an incredibly safe city, continuously voted one of the most playful cities. Our Parks and Recreation Department are absolutely incredible. I'll let Justin talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes, but we have great streets and roads. It is clean. It's absolutely clean. We have an entire department that does nothing but ride up and down these streets with brooms and litter picker-uppers to keep this place looking clean. You don't see broken windows. There's no graffiti. There's no signs with burnt-out light bulbs. People want to be out here.
So folks are actually seeing the benefits of their tax dollars.
Absolutely. And
tell me, you sound like, are you a resident here as well?
I have lived in Mt Juliet for almost 35 years.
Okay.
And I tell people I was born up north, but I got here as quick as I could. And I've watched Mt Juliet grow from, I guess, in the late 80s when I got here, I don't know, maybe 2,500 people, 2-lane road going up and down Mt Juliet, a couple of stoplights, a few police cars.
A couple of farms.
Absolutely. And it's changed, and there is a struggle there. And in any community, the Chamber of Commerce is probably at the forefront of making sure we don't forget where we came from, at the same time recognizing and embracing that change is going to happen. But you can do that in a good way.
One thing I've noticed is some of the little strip malls that you have here along Mt Juliet Road, north and south. You have your traditional, corporate,
right,
chains, but even the mom and pops, they are really nice looking. You would not know that they're just mom and pop shops.
It's the community pride is the community pride in the building standards. Mt Juliet has very, very high standards. If you want to do business in town, you're gonna have a lit parking lot, and there's going to be plenty of parking for your customers. You can walk from the farthest end of our community all the way to the southern end and never have to step off of a brand new sidewalk.
I guess that's the tip of the cap to the zoning commission.
It sure is.
They do a good job of balancing housing versus businesses. You're not going to find two shops of like-minded in every strip mall like you would in a major urban area.
They all look a little bit different. I think the other thing that we don't have is vacancies. You do not see businesses for rent, for sale, for rent. They come up, and occasionally one will stay maybe open for maybe longer than we'd like. But it could be that the person that moved out is still paying the rent, so there's not a lot of motivation to fill it. But people that have commercial properties, they don't sit empty very long.
I would imagine there's a wait list.
Absolutely there is, and I have people regularly, and if I know somebody's getting ready to move out, there's a list of people, whether it's 1,000 square feet or 15,000 square feet. There's a waiting list of people that can't wait to get here and open their doors. Customers in Mt Juliet, they're loyal. They want to shop local. They want to know their local retailer and restaurant.
What percentage of businesses here in Mt Juliet would you say are mom and pop? Small business.
I can tell you we represent almost 800 businesses in the Chamber of Commerce and organizations, and I would say 85% of them have less than 10 employees. Mom and pop usually means grandma and grandpa, 2 of the kids, and one of the next door neighbor's friends that helps them out as too. And most of them probably enjoy self-employment because they only have to work a half a day. They can either work the first 12 hours or the second 12 hours. You see them in there all the time.
I'm stealing these lines.
Well, I stole it from somebody else, but they're in there. What they've effectively done is risked everything. They've risked everything to go into business to serve customers, and unless you've walked into a place of business and turned that little sign around on the door that says "Now Open," and you are crossing your fingers, hoping enough people come in and shop and there's enough money left over to pay your employees and pay your rent and buy your groceries, you don't really know what that terror can can feel like. And so,
well, Mark, it appears you guys are doing a great job here at the Chamber of lowering that risk factor for small businesses. What would you say to somebody, maybe even inside Nashville, is looking to relocate and thinking about moving out to a suburb area? What would you say to them?
That's a great question. I think financially, it's very hard to beat. It's probably the lowest taxes in all of Middle Tennessee. It's close to Nashville, so if you do want to go down to the arts, the theater, the music, the athletics, and universities and things like that, it's and the entertainment, it's not that far away. We have
30 minutes, right?
Yep, and we have
15 to the airport.
Well, on Tennessee Titan games, you can right across the street from the chamber. You can take the music, the We Go Star. 30
That's
minute,
right. They have a station here.
It's a train drops you off right down. You can take your little cooler on the train, and it'll take you right to the stadium. And 30, 45 minutes after the game, you get on the train and you come right back to Mt Juliet. So, I think the other thing is our housing. No shortage of housing out here, really from pretty much any price range. That's getting to be a little bit more expensive like it is everywhere else with the cost of materials and things.
It's relative.
It is, and it's we have to be careful about that. We don't want to create an environment where we price out our kids and our grandkids. If you're going to call it a community, I think you have to have housing for everybody in the community. It's not much of a community if you have folks that can come into town and work, but then have to go home somewhere else to spend the night. So we work on that, and that really is jobs. You have to have good paying jobs, and you can get good paying jobs if you have a workforce that's trained and educated and willing to do the work. You have to have housing, transportation opportunities for people to get back and forth, and then land to build it and developers that want to build. And right now we pretty much have just about everything clicking on all 8 cylinders right now.
Well, Mark, I know that from the small businesses that I got to meet while I was here and from the citizens here, they feel very blessed to have you. I didn't meet many people who didn't know you and didn't have a fond thing to say about you. So we wish you continued success in your capacity here. And I know you're doing well for the city, and I know it's a labor of love. So
it's a passion, and I'm pretty sure I was put on this planet this is one of the things that somebody expected me to do someday, but I absolutely love it. I think every day we get to make a difference. And, if you're not sure, you want to know a little bit more about it, you can find us online at mjchamber.org. You can come by the office. If you have questions, you can email us. If you're somewhere else, I'll go out and take a picture of a subdivision for you, or I'll put you in touch with the school. Somebody on our staff will find out if there's hiring going on over here or there. But this is a wonderful place to live, to learn, to shop, and to play and to pray. We have a great community. It's a diverse community. It's a safe community. And I don't think there's anything about this place that I just don't absolutely love. And I've got my spot buried. It's here, and the chamber's here to help you. People are moving here from everywhere. And I will end with this. You're welcome to be here. We feel like when somebody is willing to pack up and move across the country, and in many cases leave friends and family behind to come and live in Mt Juliet and be with us, they're not being forced to come here. They've looked, they've done their homework, they want to come to Mt Juliet because they like what they see here. And I think, personally, that's the highest compliment that anybody can pay us. And you are welcome. We're excited that you're considering Mt Juliet, and I hope you'll swing by the chamber when you get here.
Well, that's a great personal invitation to come visit Mt Juliet, seek a new place for your business, for your home. Mark, thank you for your time today. Continued success.
I love doing this. Thank you very much. And
we'll revisit again in a while.
I hope
see how things are going.
What you see today, it's going to be different tomorrow morning because it never stops growing. Thanks.
Thank you.
Reimagine secondhand and shop at the Sugar Pea Ladies Consignment Boutique. Sugar Pea Ladies Consignment Boutique sells designer and name brand clothing along with quality, timeless pieces. Shoes, hats, jewelry, coats, and handbags. If you can wear it, they sell it. Need something for an upcoming event? Stop in the Sugar Pea Ladies Consignment Boutique and browse through their selection of seasonal attire. And a gift certificate is a great gift, especially for the holidays. The ladies are very selective about the clothing they accept to be consigned. But don't keep the great finds all to yourself. The Sugar Pea Ladies Consignment Boutique is open Tuesday through Saturday 10 to 4 and is located at 3084 North Mt Juliet Road in Mt Juliet. Stop in today and discover how to look like $1 million for a fraction of retail. It's like going shopping in your girlfriend's closet. Shop local and in style at the Sugar Pea Ladies Consignment Boutique in Mt Juliet.
Brett Wade, owner of Restore Hyper Wellness, 401 South Mt Juliet Road, next to Providence Mall.
Hello, Brett. How are you today?
Hey, happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us here on Pod 615. You have a business here called Restore Hyper Wellness, which is a unique form of healthcare. You have a background in healthcare.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I've been in healthcare for about 15 years, a lot of it in sort of the consulting side of things. And I think one of the things I saw as a big need was, a lot of folks are aware of the growing healthcare cost, aware of the need to be healthier, but there's a lot of question marks about how do you be healthier. And so there's some basic things, diet, exercise, but when those things aren't enough to cut it, or where there's other components you can add, that's where hyper wellness comes in. It's an opportunity for folks that are really looking to take their health into their own hands and be more proactive, to be able to do that and to have additional supports that they can use to help make them healthy instead of just diet and exercise or just waiting for, your next doctor checkup.
Well, walking into this facility, it's very state-of-the-art. I see there are a lot of different services you offer. So Tell me about these services that folks can come in and receive to help them feel better.
Yeah. So, broadly speaking, I'll say that a lot of what we do is ultimately, help your body operate more efficiently. And so we do that by helping deliver nutrients to your cells, deliver more oxygen to your cells, deliver more water to your cells. So these are some of these key elements that your body needs to perform. A lot of us have deficiencies where we're not getting enough, or where circulation is such that maybe the blood's not carrying enough to all the cells that it needs to be. And so a lot of our modalities are sort of built around that, like helping your body get what it needs to be able to operate like it did when you were, a teenager or when you were in your 20s.
So this services or list of services would be great for anybody suffering from chronic disease, seeking pain management.
Yeah, inflammation, pain management. It's great for folks who have any sort of chronic conditions that might contribute to nutrient deficiencies or diabetes management, those sorts of things. And then it's also great for folks who are looking to really maximize their performance. So if you're playing a competitive sport like football, if you're someone that's going to the gym a lot and really looking to get more out of your workout, a lot of our services really help you get the most out of your workouts, but really kind of optimize your performance. So certainly anyone who's an athlete or really trying to drive a higher state of fitness or wellness for themselves can benefit from these.
And the folks that take advantage of these great new modern technologies, they come from high school athletics all the way up to senior citizens, correct?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we have people of all ages that are coming in here. We actually had, we used to have someone who did middle school gymnastics that came in. That was probably one of our youngest clients. And we certainly have clients who are senior citizens that are coming in here for different things to sort of help, manage some pain or manage some chronic conditions.
What inspired you to open up this facility?
Yeah, I think for me, and so going into the Army when I was very young, I had not grown up really having a focus on my own personal wellness, right? And so I think, I learned a lot of that stuff. How do you go about being more physically fit? How do you go about eating better while I was in the service? Coming out and then, going into healthcare after that and seeing sort of the ongoing rise of medical spending, it helped me appreciate broadly where there were just these kind of macro trends of folks needing to be healthier, seeking to be healthier, and maybe not knowing, how to do it. Maybe they just need that help to kind of understand how to, be healthier, how to actually engage in these things from a wellness perspective.
And other than the IV
Yeah.
solutions you offer, these are all non-invasive, modern, state-of-the-art technologies?
Yeah, everything else is pretty non-invasive. So, we do cryoskin, which is good for folks that are looking to kind of tone up or some light weight loss. We do whole body cryotherapy too, which is great for folks that are looking to improve their overall circulation, manage pain, manage inflammation issues. We do hyperbaric oxygen, which is great for folks that are looking to get more oxygenation into their blood. That helps it with overall healing, right? 30% increase in healing. So post-surgery or post-injury, trying to get your body to repair itself. We do a lot of great things with compression for folks that are looking to improve their post-workout recovery. So, yeah, it's a lot of things. The IVs, I think, are, obviously something that a lot of folks have familiarity with, but a lot of other modalities there too. Our infrared sauna, which is really great for, again, also for circulation, but good for just overall skin health and overall immunity management as well. So.
Absolutely. And the place is always busy. It's hopping here.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's great. So you gave back to the community. You grew up here. That's fascinating. Now I got to ask you the obvious question. Somebody goes out and drinks a little too much. Is this for them as well? Can they come in and get rehydrated?
Yep. Yeah. So definitely we do have a fair number of folks that are specifically looking for that recovery solution that come in here, and and so we definitely try to accommodate that. I think we've had a few bachelorette parties that have booked to come in as well. It's kind of like pre-planning for their recovery. One of the things we always say is, if you can drip before you drink, that's even better, because now you're sort of like, bolstering yourself, hydrating before you actually go out in the first place. And so we have some folks that do that as well, but yeah, definitely.
Now you can join, you get membership packages, and you can even just walk in and purchase a package if you want, or whatever your needs are.
Yeah. So, we have lots of folks walk in, they've got a specific need and they're targeted to do that. One of the things we really strive to do, though, is when folks come in, because we're trying to help folks live a healthier lifestyle and really kind of embrace their own wellness, is, our wellness reps will kind of walk through based on what conditions you present with or what you say your needs are. Like, okay, how can our services best help you? We'll recommend membership if that's ideal. If it's not, then we can recommend packages that can help as well. So lots of different ways to take advantage.
Now you're here in Mt Juliet, and your customers come from all over east of Nashville to this location. What made you want to put your location here?
Yeah, well, so I grew up just right over in the Hermitage community. And so, I really love my local community here, Donaldson, Hermitage, Mt Juliet. To me, they're sort of, they're all their own little communities, but they're also kind of one big community. And Mt Juliet's just a great growing area. Providence, with 40 here, it's got convenient access for a lot of folks to get to. And so that's one of the things that really attracted me, was this felt like a great central spot for the community that I grew up in, to allow them to have access to services. And it just, it really made a lot of sense.
And what sold you on Restore Hyper Wellness?
Yeah. So, Restore specifically, what I loved about this brand is, I think, you can go and get an IV somewhere else, and you can go and get an infrared sauna treatment somewhere else, and you can go and get, cryotherapy, but cryo slimming somewhere else. But Restore is one of these rare places that pulls all these things together. And so what you find is these modalities really kind of work together to help people optimize their health. And so if you're having to go pay for a membership over here and a membership over there, and then you're doing a little bit at this third place, it can get really expensive. And it can also get really time consuming, because now you're having to jump around everywhere. This is one place you can go to.
It's a one-stop shop.
Exactly. Yeah. And one of the things I love about, our store, is that it does have a community feel to it. So it's, as you can see, it's a very open space. It's intended for folks to be able to kind of, share their knowledge with one another as well, to be able to chat about what you're getting. We have lots of people ask each other, like, oh, hey, what are you getting your drip today? Right. Our cryotherapy machine is actually one of the largest in the states. It's custom built. You can hold up to 4 people in the machine. And so we've definitely had groups that go and do cryotherapy together. It's just sort of becomes a fun experience. Right. So, It really isn't just about getting the services, but it's about kind of promoting that community of health.
And tell me real quick about the facials that you offer, because I know women are going to be interested in that. Do men come for that service too? Tell me about the facials. What exactly are those?
Yeah, we do have men that come for the facials as well. So we've got a couple. We've got a cryofacial that's really sort of focused on helping with wrinkle reduction, tightening up skin. It can help with some fat reduction in the face as well. And then our hydrofacial, I think one of the things that's unique about that compared to maybe facials that most women have experienced is, most facials you're putting sort of some creams or some chemicals on your skin. Those chemicals are then drawing out some elements from the skin to try to cleanse it. The hydrofacial is a little unique in the way that the suction works on the device. That it actually kind of creates this little vortex that's going in, infusing water a little bit deeper in the skin, so you're getting a little bit deeper hydration. But then that vortex actually helps suck out some of that stuff from the skin a little bit more. So
amazing. So these are actual for a woman or a man. This could be actually a slight alternative to surgical.
Yeah. Yes, it is I think there are definitely folks that, again, you talk about non-invasive, right? It's a great way, especially if you're looking to kind of modify, not necessarily, pay for a major surgery. But if you're just looking for a little bit of a support there, then it can be absolutely helpful there, helpful with weight loss and helpful with just overall sort of, skin health and youthful skin.
Well, I've been personally amazed by the staff here, how friendly and professional they are. And I would invite our listeners to come in and to Restore Hyper Wellness here, located next to ML Rose.
Yep.
In the Providence Mall, correct, in Mt Juliet.
Absolutely, yeah. We're right here in the same building as ML Rose.
Come in and check out the store, meet the staff, and see what they can do for you. Brett, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Restore Hyper Wellness. Do more of what you love. Are you ready to transform? At Restore Hyper Wellness in Mt Juliet, cutting-edge wellness services are at your fingertips. Decrease inflammation, improve recovery, boost energy, and defy the signs of aging. Create your customized plan today with a range of membership options and packages to best suit your needs. Franchise owner Brett Wade is a career healthcare consultant from Hermitage who wanted to find a way to give back to his community. He found that with Restore Hyper Wellness, he then decided to open his store located at 401 South Mt Juliet Road in Providence Marketplace next to ML Rose. Come in and discover what we have to offer or visit the website at restore.com. Use promo code 615 to get your first core service free at our Mt Juliet location. Get ready to feel your best so you can be your best.
Valerie Wall, owner of Wahlnut Woods custom-built Amish furniture at 9574 Lebanon Road, Mt Juliet, Tennessee.
How are you doing today, Valerie?
Good, thank you.
I saw the store and I turned around and came back because this the Amish patio furniture you have here is just incredibly unique looking to me. And tell me about that. It's made by real Amish craftsmen. It's a poly lumber furniture. They buy the poly. I didn't know that existed. Tell me about that.
So the fact that you drove by, it caught your eye, you turned around and came back means that us having it outside is doing its job. It's catching your eye. Obviously, what caught your eye, I'm sure, is some of the bright colors. It's a poly lumber furniture. It's made, we joke, in fact, our shirts say, looks pretty good for a milk jug. We tell everybody it's essentially recycled milk jugs in resin. In fact, some of the fun facts out there is that every pound of finished poly lumber is basically 9 recycled milk jugs. If you take that into a chair, which let's say a glider weighs 60 pounds. Oh, forgive my math. What's that? 540 milk jugs? Kind of makes you feel good, right?
So it's green furniture.
It is.
It's very friendly.
It is.
Eco-friendly.
And so poly furniture is built just like any other wood furniture. It's just the poly lumber, which means no maintenance. You don't have to take it in the winter, and it will last a very, very, very long time. I have clients that have sets that are over 30 years old, and they look phenomenal.
And yours is handcrafted by a single Amish?
Yes. One Amish gentleman. Yeah. So the beauty of what we do is that whatever you're looking for in general, I have at least a couple craftsmen that I can go to and say, hey, would you do this style? Can you do this finish? Can you do this look?
Much like
And
the furniture we're
same-
sitting in here. This table is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Tell me
Yes.
about the table that we're sitting on.
So you've got a 6-foot cherry slab that's live edge on both sides. It's filled with some black resin and the cracks and some of the blemishes, but the blemishes are character. You've got a wax finish to protect it, and it just brings out the warm red of the cherry that makes cherry. And it's just a gorgeous natural piece.
Well, everything in here looks natural. You have whiskey barrel furniture that's custom built. Besides, what caught my eye, of course, because we're a rescue family, we're the dog beds, but you have, tell me about the wine, what would
So-
you call that, a wine?
The hutches. So we have our barrel builder is a wonderful craftsman. He does pieces, everything from the big barrel coffee table that the top lifts up and raises towards you, stools, end tables, sofa tables, traditional coffee tables, wine hutches. He does the barrel tables, barrel bars, and again, you see a finished product, but that's not what you have to purchase. Again, just like anything else, it can be customized. He works with oak, quarter sawn white oak, hickory and burnt hickory. And then from there, you can pick a finish, whether you want like an opaque black or a gray or a blue hue to your finish, or natural or red, or warm almond. That's all part of the uniqueness of purchasing custom Amish furniture. It's yes, we have pieces here that you can go home with, but if you want to make it unique and you want to make it you can.
Yeah, and you have some wonderful pieces here, but you also have some small pieces. I see some handcrafted purses, wallets, hats.
Yes.
You have, this is a cool store
Thank
to
you.
shop in. Tell me about the purses and wallets that you have.
So we try to keep the shop full with items that are unique to the area or crafted by local Tennesseans, if possible. But we just try to work with the end craftsman, no matter what. The cork purses and bags and wallets and accessories are actually a family here, or a couple here in Springfield, Tennessee, Brian, Lisa, Joy, and they work with a family in Portugal to harvest and process the cork, and they make these phenomenal bags, everything from briefcases to small purses to large bags to conceal carries, wallets,
Yeah.
earrings, ball caps, small like book bag 3-in-1 conversion pieces. I mean, it's a unique product, and they bring the versatility for sure.
It's a unique store. Like I said, it made me turn around, and I love finding out about you and your husband, who is a retired naval master chief diver. Is that correct?
Yes. So
So it's a veteran, not only a veteran-owned business, but a family-owned business. And by the way, the last name was Wall, W-A-H-W-A-A-H-L.
correct. So
So it's Walnut Woods. You
Yep.
played on that.
It's a play on our last name. And so my husband and I grew up together.
Jason.
Yes, sorry. We've known each other since we were in middle school. When we graduated high school, he decided to enlist in the Navy. He did 20 years and retired last summer as a Master Chief Master Diver. He very proud of him, very proud of his career and everything he accomplished.
Absolutely.
He and I do this together. It's just the two of us. And, we do all the deliveries. He picks up all the pieces. I coordinate with all the builders. So it's a it's a joint effort between the two of us. So
this business migrated from West Virginia. You purchased the business, pre-COVID, around 2019?
Correct.
And you brought the business here. Mm-hmm. The business has been established for, I think you told me, 13 years, and you've had it since 2019. What made you want to come to Mount Juliet, the Lebanon area? What made you decide to move down here?
So, correct. It was a company under a different name that we had purchased furniture pieces from for quite some time. All of our children's cribs and dressers. We've had a couple custom pieces made. And as that owner was retiring, we decided to step up and purchase the business from him. When COVID hit and my husband was trying to figure out his retirement plan, exactly what to do, we decided that where we were wasn't really long-term where we wanted to be. And for lack of a better way to say it, we kind of threw a dart at a map and landed here. We'd never really been here. Through his naval career, there have been many times that we were told with very short notice, you're moving, pick up and go. And we've done it, but we had done it before, and we just figured we would do it again, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. We love it in Wilson County. The people are amazing, and it was the best decision we could have ever made.
Because you have young children as well, too. So you do have other helpers.
You could call them that, yes.
Yes. We've met Sadie today, and she's quite a charmer. What's your favorite thing about owning this business here? What made you want to choose this selling custom Amish furniture and other custom pieces?
Quality.
Okay.
It's quality. Everything's expensive nowadays. It doesn't matter what you buy. Everything's expensive. And when it comes to furniture, especially having young kids, I know that quality means a lot, especially when you're looking for longevity in a piece.
An heirloom.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of our pieces become heirloom pieces. I mean, a lot of them are unique and people just love them because they are what they are. But a lot of people do buy things with the intent of giving them to kids and, who they're going to pass them down to. But it's just hard to find that quality nowadays, especially in furniture, and we can offer it. And our builders are phenomenal. Our builders are just unique.
Everything you have here is American made.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Even the poly, from the resin to the recycling process, the company that our builder purchases the poly from, our builder, everything about it is in the United States. You can't say that about a lot.
And back to the patio, the Amish patio furniture. So, but you can get it in all kinds of colors, so you can come here and custom order pieces.
Yes.
Not only in the patio furniture in colors, but also in the furniture in length, sizes.
Yes. Yeah, we have everything. As far as the patio furniture, we've got Adirondack style. We have what's called a high back style. You can do stationary chairs, folding chairs, rockers, gliders, swivel gliders, swings, the big porch bed swings. You can do pool loungers, tables. You can do counter height, bar height, dining height, of course. We've got different styles of dining chairs. It's really about what your space allows and what you want in that space, and we customize to
incredible. Now, where can folks find you? You have a Facebook page and a website.
Yes.
What do they need to look for? Now, you got to spell Wall correctly because it's WAHL.
Yes, that's the key.
WalnutWoods.com and on Facebook, just under Wahlnut Woods.
Yes, that's it. Wahlnut Woods, and we pop up, but you've got to do the WAHL. NUT.
Well, I encourage you to come support this great family, veteran-owned small business. Buy local, shop local. That's what we say. And they are certainly embedded into the community now. Valerie, thanks for speaking with us today on Pod 615, and I wish you and Jason and your family every success.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you for stopping that one day.
Well, I'm a fan. I'll be back.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We here at Wahlnut Woods want to create and supply furniture made with traditional Amish techniques, yet also give it an updated look and feel to compete with modern furniture trends. Our promise to our customers is that every piece of handcrafted custom furniture created will be completely satisfactory. No matter what type of furniture you need, Wahlnut Woods will handcraft any form to suit your needs for any room in the home. Whether it be for personal use or for your business, Walnut Woods can craft the perfect look for anything. Walnut Woods is a small business owned and operated by a retired military family out of Lebanon, Tennessee. After 20 years in the Navy, husband Jason Wall retired as a Master Chief Master Diver. Jason and his wife, Valerie, take pride in providing high-quality indoor and outdoor furniture pieces for their clients. Each piece is handcrafted by Amish tradesmen from Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Visit their Mt Juliet location at 9574 Lebanon Road or online at walnutwoods.com. That's WAHLNUT woods.com.
Justin Regan, owner of the Paper Mill Restaurant at 4066 North Mt Juliet Road, and Chef Jonathan Humphrey.
All right, I'm here today at the Paper Mill, which is a great restaurant located here in Mt Juliet. And we talk about Destination Mt Juliet. This is definitely a destination restaurant. You got to come try this. Normally, you wouldn't find a restaurant like this in a small town. This menu is incredible. The food's unique. It's traditional items mixed in, prepared in different ways. This is going to be one of the funnest interviews we've done for this type of series because these guys are really entertaining. Tell us about the concept, how you put this high-quality restaurant in such a great community.
Well, the high quality comes from the people surrounding it in here. And it really just kind of got put together on us. It was something that we got out here to Mt Juliet about 8 years ago and decided we wanted to be a part of the community. And the next thing you know led me to the opportunity to come into this place and do the construction build out. And before I knew it, we were just pretty much surrounded by some top-notch chefs, implementers, and servers as well. So here we are, and it's been going pretty good so far.
Well, it's a very eclectic menu, and Jonathan, I understand you helped design that. Tell me about the process of coming, or the menu, really not found in most towns of this size.
Well, I guess that's what makes it different, is that you don't want to be the same as everybody else. But,
sure.
Brandon, like I said, Brandon Frone started the concept. They brought him in to start helping write the menu, and by the time I got in here, the menu was pretty much done. He came in here, he was writing the menu. We come in and we finished it up, and he just wrote the ideas, and it's on us to give it personality. And I say that's the biggest part I've had, is I've given the food a little bit more personality.
A chance to use your skills. Yeah.
We've made a few changes, and I think that the customers have taken to what he's putting out. And there's no doubt about it, it's special, for sure. I've watched, it's pretty cool to watch this dining hall full and customers in here, when they take a bite of the sandwich, to see their reaction and the eyebrows raised. They're surprised and shocked at the flavor, and it's a special place.
I fell in love with it. I seen it when it was what it was before, and then now, and just stuck with it. And he said, "You want to open it?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely. I'll sling some eggs."
Yeah, and we do.
We sling some eggs out of this place.
I think currently right now we're about between 18 to 2,000 customers within the 5 days of that 7 to 2
That's
program.
how many plates you're doing in a week?
Customers, yeah.
That's impressive. Well, the menu's eclectic. It's not it's food like the Cubano I had today. Tell me about that.
You can, a Cubano is a staple in Miami, of course, in Cuba. It's a sandwich that's pressed with Swiss cheese, pickles, mayonnaise, or Dijonnaise, or mustard and pickles. And so we decided to put it on a smash burger with mojo mayo. Usually you make mojo and you braise pork in it and let it marinate. And it's just our vision on what a Cubano is, something that's
but that's just one item.
More approachable.
Yeah.
Tell me about the other items you have.
We have Everyday Trufflin, which is a smash burger with smoked fontina, fried onions, and truffle mayo. The street corn is like a Mexican street corn that you get on the cob, but we just constructed it and made a corn salad and put it on 2 smashed patties and queso and pickled onions.
Now, folks don't know they have their burger here is called a smash burger, and it's 2 patties. When I think of a smash burger, I think, I don't want to say one of those famous chains that smash the burgers, but they come out dry. They're not juicy.
Yeah.
These burgers are not overcooked. They're perfect. They're tender. They're juicy when they come out, which is so important.
No.
They're obviously cooked to order.
Yes, sir.
Smash burger, you're able to cook it real quick.
Mm-hmm. 5 to 7 minutes.
How do you keep it so tender and not dried out?
So we roll them up in the 3-ounce balls, and we put them on the grill and let them cook a little bit, let the meat loosen up, and then we press them. get a good sear, and we flip them over, put cheese on them, take them off. We don't cook them on the other side as much, so it's able to retain some of its fat and not spill out all over the grill. But I also think that we're having, like I was saying, we had a conversation earlier about the protein. Most restaurants will bring in the patties. We actually hand roll all our patties. We're touching it, we're seeing it. It's not going to be perfect every time, but every time it hits the table, it's going to be, I think, perfect to somebody else. So,
and I think that's what's important too. Our customers have picked up on the personal touch that we put into our food. You know, these sauces and stuff. Chef has got a full crew back here, and you know, sometimes they're coming in at 5 a.m. We're making sauces fresh,
biscuits.
We're hand patting our meats out, making sure that this stuff is on point. And it's not about how much you touch in a day; it's how you touch it and get it out here, and that's what's important to us. And that's the same with our staff too. You know, we really want to put something in the city that people enjoy and feel comfortable coming in, sitting down, and really tasting the love that we're putting into this.
Yeah, I noticed today Jennifer was my server today. We're going to throw her in the podcast, so she's quite a character.
She is.
She's friendly. She's outgoing, and she makes you feel right at home.
Absolutely.
She told me that she had to arm wrestle somebody to get me that she had beat somebody in the back, arm wrestling, I think, to be my server. So
yeah, she told me she wasn't going to tell nobody.
That was supposed to be under the wraps. But you know, look, and we've started out with a lot of these with a lot of the girls here and the guys. You know, from day one, and we still have everybody here. And we are fully staffed. We're pretty proud of that too. And the people that we do have are absolute rock stars in this industry. And so I'm thankful for that as well. Not, you know, to have that opportunity to be able to do this with an amazing crew like I've got.
Yeah, well, that speaks a lot to management and ownership too, that staff remain, because they're obviously in a friendly environment where they feel like family and feel appreciated. So I would say it's upscale casual.
No, it's absolutely upscale casual.
Like I said, it's not something you would traditionally find in a small town. It's way more unique than that, and you need to come test this menu out for yourselves.
Yeah, I feel that it's traditional food with an elevated taste to it. We've definitely got an elevated flavor put into the gravies and the other.
We talked about the hamburgers. Tell us about the other items on the menu, and you also have a brunch menu, breakfast menu. Tell us about that. That's available on weekends, right?
All day on Saturday and Sunday, and then Wednesday through Friday, from 7 to 11 is our breakfast menu. Like he said, it has a little bit of a different flavor, like our rosemary gravy. It's traditional gravy, just rosemary in it. Biscuits, tomato gravies, which is, if you've never had tomato gravy, phenomenal. Smoky, has bacon, tomatoes, onions, garlic. We have our stuffed omelets, 4 different stuffed omelets, I believe. One with loaded meats, which is the rising swine. Then you have the Tex-Mex, the farmer and the goat, and what's the other one?
E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah. They all got a name, but they're all spectacular in their own way. I mean, everything's made from scratch. Biscuits daily. We probably do 400 biscuits a week, maybe a little more than that.
The brie sandwich is killer too. That thing is. Tell them about the brie sandwich. That thing's going out all day long.
Blackberry onion jam, brie, and basil on 9-grain bread, and we grill it.
See, I told you, folks, this is not something you find at a roadside diner. No. This is
very approachable.
Huge city fare. Yeah. Any plans to eventually franchise or branch out, open other locations in Nashville?
Franchise, not so much, but the opportunity to grow, absolutely. And we will be approaching growth here. As long as everything goes the way we plan. We're honing in on what we're doing, and when we're succeeding so far. The main focus right now is to bring it to this location, and we'll look at the future later.
All right, as owner, what's your favorite item on the menu? What's your go-to?
Tough.
What's your go-to?
I'm cooking a burger every day. I love the burgers.
That and what's that? The JR special, the ham and cheese, and pickle, or whatever, mustard or whatever you put on it.
Something simple, but I'm always walking out of here the week with a tub of the pimento cheese.
Okay.
That's pretty good as well.
That's the thing, huh?
They've got the grain salad is a little different, and I wasn't so sure about that until I tasted the grain salad. That's pretty unique. Yeah, and it's really good. So I would say the smash burger, any of the burgers, the grain salad, and the pimento cheese is definitely outstanding.
Did you say you're walking out with a quart a week?
At least.
My inventory probably reflects that too.
That's
maybe a little bit
we've
more.
Been shuffling.
How long have you been a chef? What inspired you to become a chef?
I graduated culinary school in 2010. Was it 2022? 12 years, 13 years now. I guess you say a little longer. I started cooking with my dad. He used to be a chef, and then I used to go in, and I didn't realize this until probably a couple years ago, that as a young kid, you bring your kids in the restaurant that and they're prepping, they already know the prep, that you're just getting free labor. And I got to laughing about it, and I mean,
you got any kids to bring in and help prep?
My kids come in here.
Help prep.
I got two.
They got to learn, man.
I got two, and I got one on the way, and they do. My daughter comes in here and helps cook, and not helps cook, but helps prep. On days that we used to be closed on Tuesdays, and we used to come in here every day on Tuesdays and prep, and she'd come in and help. And anyways, I met Justin probably. I guess I've been on this project for about 7 months now. Was introduced to Justin, and right away we hit it off. Come in with the button-up shirt and trying to sell something, and he told me his vision and what he thought and his dream of the dream that he had sitting on his couch about what he wanted the paper mill to be, and he sold it to me, and I believed in it, and we hit it off. I stayed 20 or 30 minutes afterwards. We hit it off. He said, I'll call you in a few days, and by that Monday or Tuesday he called me. He said, we'd like to have you. And I was out here 2 weeks later, helping finishing up the restaurant, setting up trucks, doing the opening business, and and then decided to stay around and believe in what he's.
Well, I know he's glad you did, and I am too, because I got to sample some of that street corn salad today. Man, that's going in my fridge, man. That's like going to be a staple.
I'll give you a quart before we leave today.
I'll get a hookup. That's a good perk about this gig.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's good food, and then there's great food. And when I dined here today, the food was just great.
Thank you.
I was totally impressed. Just absolutely. I see why your parking lot's full.
Yeah,
it's a great, and the place is beautiful. The build out you did, does that come from your? Who did the decor? Are you I know you do construction too.
He's a fashionista.
But did your wife have anything to do with this, or who has the eye for this kind of a?
So this all came from me as well. A lot of this is some of it's from my house. I'm not gonna lie.
The sign right behind your head's from his house right there.
I've always been one to road trips here and there. If there's an antique store, I'm stopping, or if there's a barn, I'm looking, and I find some of the most unique stuff, and I kind of brought that within here, and I've got a lot more for the bar side too. But I just kind of put it together on the feel of what I would like to see or what I would feel comfortable around.
Yeah, you're thinking about opening a bar next door as well too.
We've got the process going. We're not too far out, and we should be doing a grand opening on that the first of the year, maybe a New Year's party or something.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, will the menu change for that, or what? Will it be a different concept, different theme, or will it be just connected?
The menu will stay the same. However, we've got some bar menu items that we are putting together that will be unique, and so we will be adding to the menu that we currently have. So
is there going to be a new take on the famous chicken wing, or is that coming?
Well, we can't tell you everything.
Can't tell, sir. All right, just got to come visit. This is definitely a destination location. No matter where you are in Middle Tennessee, you'd want to make a trip to come out here and check out the paper mill, because it's well worth the drive from wherever you are.
Handcrafted recipes from scratch made daily for both breakfast and lunch. Sounds great, doesn't it? That's exactly what you'll find at the paper mill in Mt Juliet, Tennessee. The menu, originally designed by Chef Brandon Frone from the Food Network and other popular television shows, is now overseen by Chef Jonathan Humphrey and features Southern staples while incorporating some pops of unexpected flavor. A menu that explores the diverse culinary landscape of the modern South and is handcrafted from scratch daily. one that highlights a fresh, healthy, and seasonal twist, and features locally made, premium ingredients from local farmers. We also include balanced offerings so our guests can indulge or enjoy lighter options. Find the Paper Mill at 4066 North Mt Juliet Road in Mt Juliet, Tennessee. Follow us on Facebook and visit us online at thepapermillmj.com. A destination for breakfast and lunch from anywhere in Middle Tennessee.
Cat Reed and Mama Joyce, Cat's Bar and Grill, 2037 North Mt Juliet Road.
All right, we're really delighted to be here today at Cat's Bar and Grill right here in Mount Juliet off North Mount Juliet Road. And I'm sitting here talking with the owners. I'm talking with Cat Reed and Mama Joyce.
Hi.
So, now, the first thing you notice about this is the community pub. This is the gathering hole for everybody in Mount Juliet to come, have a great meal, and have a nice adult beverage of their choice. You got your own drink here, too. Tell me about that.
We do.
You have your own drink? How did that start? What's it called?
It was just a drink that I like. If I'm going to have a shot or if I'm going to have a drink, then it was something that I came up with. We ended up making it our personal.
Tell me about it. It's called
a dirty water, and it's Ciroc peach, a little bit of lime juice and 7-Up. And you just shake it over ice, and then you...
Is that what, if people want to buy the owner a drink, is that what they buy?
They know to get me a dirty water.
And yet you got a great menu here, and it's unique. All your food's freshly made and prepared in your kitchen. It's not traditional bar food. It's pub food, but it's
with a little flair.
Yeah, tell me about the menu. What's like your popular items?
Our stir fries is really popular, and you can get it with a chicken, steak, or shrimp, and it's done fajita style. Also, the stuffed potato is the same way. It's done fajita style also, which has the onions, the peppers, queso. You can have a choice of any of the 3 meats.
Yeah, you do lunch specials too occasionally?
We do. We try to offer maybe a soup, a salad, or a quick lunch that we can do something on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, different days of the week.
Now, I see Mama Joyce here. I know she makes the desserts here.
I make the desserts. One of our favorite is called Holy Cow.
Holy Cow.
It's one that's kind of made up. And I also do mostly cakes, but sometimes I do pies like chess pies or the old homemade chocolate meringue pies.
It's the chess pie with the chocolate is a Kentucky.
We have a Kentucky bourbon pie.
Yeah, that one's a popular one.
We try to have something that's a little bit different from what everybody else has.
Now, tell me about Holy Cow. That's got my attention. What is Holy Cow?
Well, it's actually a chocolate cake.
Okay.
And after the cake is baked, then I punch holes in it with a wooden spoon, and I pour on a can of condensed milk. And then on top of that, it gets a Butterfinger Heath Bar concoction, a whole bag on the top of it. And then I have the cream cheese icing.
Oh, my goodness. So once that's embedded into the cake, you cover it with the cream cheese icing.
Yes.
And then she also adds fudge and caramel on top of that.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Is that always available, or is that you just make them occasionally?
Occasionally.
They change up?
I try to change things so that no one gets tired of that. And I swap up. There's a chess pie that people don't get to eat much anymore, and I make that.
Why don't they eat the chess pie? They're afraid of the...
Well, it does have a lot of sugar in it, but it is good.
And it's a different recipe than the buttermilk pie. It's a little different.
So you're famous for the Holy Cow, and you're famous for the dirty water, right?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Now, you originally started in Antioch, but you moved here around, 2018 to Mount Juliet?
We did.
And you have customers that still come from Antioch.
We do.
That says a lot about this being a friendly neighborhood-style pub. They just moved their neighborhood from Antioch to Mount Juliet.
Yep,
I mean, you got a whole new group of folks and customers that come where they feel more like family than customers, right?
Absolutely.
Tell us about one of your most... unique customers that you've got. Who's one of the funniest characters that you see coming here?
Everybody that comes in.
One of our favorites just recently passed, but Mr. Roy was one of our...
He was loved in this whole community, wasn't he?
He sure was. Mr. Roy, I think, had 3 careers before he retired. His wife had passed 10 or 12 years ago. He moved back to Mount Juliet. and came here because his daughter lived here. And he would come every afternoon on karaoke and sit down, and he would do all the mic testing to get everything ready, and he would sing songs with us.
He
was amazing.
Did he have a go-to song?
What a Wonderful World.
Oh, wow.
He was a great fellow.
That's
Great
sad.
fellow, and we tried to include him with our personal holidays, too, so that
Sure.
he was like family.
Yes. I know he'll be missed. I've actually, in the 2 weeks that I've been producing this episode, I've seen his picture around town. So he was known quite a few places. He
Mr.
was-
Roy Eastland.
Yeah.
And whenever he was here, we always had someone that looked after him to walk him to his car when he got ready to go home. He was in his 80s.
Wow.
And if we saw him getting out of the car, somebody always run out to meet him and bring him in. And he was just well loved.
What was his favorite menu item? Did he have a regular meal that he liked a lot?
You know what? He switched up. I think the catfish was one of his.
You got catfish?
But, yeah, we have like we have an excellent catfish, actually. You can get it nugget style or in a platter. That's probably one of our biggest sellers, too.
You got a homemade chili?
When Mom makes it, Mom does a homemade chili for us.
And I also do a really wonderful gumbo.
Oh,
so
wow.
as it gets cooler weather, I usually bring chili and make the gumbo, things that I think people would really enjoy, and I try to keep it a little bit spicy.
Well, it's that time of year, isn't it? It's about time to get that pot.
Yeah, get that pot going.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What's your favorite item on the menu, Mama
Well,
Joyce?
mine is that I love the shrimp wrap.
Okay, what's that?
And it's a flour tortilla, and in it has the grilled shrimp. It has lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, onions, whatever you want inside, and cheese.
Yeah.
And then there's a sauce that goes with it. It's a little bit spicy, and it's our own homemade sauce, and it's also what we do, the firecracker shrimp. It's a little bit spicy.
Now, is the firecracker shrimp in the wrap, or is that a different item?
No, it's a different item.
That's a different item. Okay.
But she likes hers firecracker style when they do her chicken wrap.
Oh, so you can get it that way if you like.
You can get it
What
any
about
way you want it.
Do you have a favorite dish here?
Oh, I like everything. The stir fry is one of my favorites. I do love our Cadillac burger. It's a big burger. You have to have someone to share it with you.
And that's actually a play on your name, right?
It is.
It's the Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Burger. Yeah.
It is just like a Philly cheesesteak done on top of a 8-ounce au jus burger. So it's actually seasoned with au jus sauce. And then, of course, you get like a fried green tomato on the top. You get the cheese, 2 different kinds of cheeses, and you also get the fried mushrooms on the top.
So you have fried green tomatoes, too?
We do.
Oh, that's great. Now, you got something going on here just about every night of the week, don't you? There's live music, there's karaoke, trivia, poker.
Every night.
7 days a week? There's
7 days
something
a week. And the only days that we are usually gone is we try to close for Thanksgiving so our people can be with their family.
Sure.
And same way with Christmas Eve. Most of our people that work for us, they have children. So those are family days.
It is a family place, isn't it? And it's
It
family
is.
owned and operated.
And we are a family business where we have children in here, and we always try to treat the children to candy once they finish so they can have a happy plate.
Now, Kat, anytime I meet somebody you're from Memphis originally, correct?
Holly Springs, Mississippi, but was born in Memphis.
You were born in Memphis, so anybody from Memphis has got to have an Elvis story. Do one of y'all have an Elvis story?
Well, my sister Marilyn went to school with Elvis at Humes High School, and I met him and talked to him quite a bit. During a summer, I was taking some advanced classes at Central High School, and he used to come over on the grounds over there with his guitar, and he looked much different from the normal class guys that I knew. He had the long hair then and the long sideburns, and wore at the back of his hair in what they called a ducktail.
Wow. What did you think of his voice then? This was before he became famous, right? So,
yes.
What did he sound like then? What was it like hearing him just playing on a guitar?
Oh, I was impressed with him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The girls liked him, huh?
Yeah.
They liked him being a little different.
Yeah, about 2 years later, he came out with his first song after he went to work as an electrician there in Memphis. And then there were several times when we would see him in downtown Memphis with a bunch of his buddies, and we'd holler and wave and always wanted to see him. Hey, Elvis.
That's a great story. Kat, your father, didn't he? He did some work on the gate at Graceland, right?
I don't think I was born then, but I do know I would hear stories.
You would hear the stories?
I would hear the stories, and Mom said that when he got ready to go through the gate, if there was someone not there to open it up for him, that he just run through it, and it was a metal gate. So my dad was a welder, and he would get the call to let them know he had to come and repair the gate.
Well, he kept the Memphis economy moving, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great story. Mama Joyce, you're just a delight. The minute I met you, I'm really glad that we got this opportunity to speak and get to know you a little bit better. And I would really encourage our listeners, anybody hearing this podcast that hasn't been here yet, to come out to Kat's Bar and Grill out here in Mt Juliet and be sure to say hello to Kat and Mama Joyce, right?
Kat works at night and I do the days.
All right.
So we're a good team and we love Mt Juliet. We like the atmosphere that we have. The customers we have are like family. And we support the other small business here.
That's fast. Well, I can tell that the community supports you. This place is starting to fill up fast. Thanks for being on Pod 615, and wish you much blessings and continued success.
Thank you so much.
Where do you go for great food, drinks, entertainment, and a good time? You go to Kat's Bar and Grill in Mt Juliet, Tennessee. Owner Kat Reed has been in the bar business for over 20 years and knows what it takes to make a great neighborhood pub. So great, in fact, when she moved her bar from Antioch over 4 years ago, her customers still make the drive to come see her here in Mt Juliet. That says it all. Kat's Bar and Grill has something going on every night of the week. Catch the latest sporting events on our big screen TVs. Sing your favorite songs on open mic night or karaoke. Play live poker or test your smarts with team trivia. Shoot a game of pool and enjoy live music with some of the best bands in town. Check out the menu and entertainment calendar online at catsbarandgrill.com. That's Cats with a K and Grill with an E. Open 7 days a week. Find us just north of Interstate 40 at 2037 North Mt Juliet Road. Stop in and be sure to say hello to Kat and Joyce.
Hope Alteri, manager of Once Upon a Time by Amy, a children's clothing and gifts boutique, Mt Juliet and Hendersonville, Tennessee.
All right, I'm here today with Hope Alteri, who is the manager of Once Upon a Time by Amy, which is a great story. And I learned today that Amy is your mom. This is her concept and store, and you help her run these beautiful stores. You got one in Mt Juliet and one in Hendersonville.
That's right.
And you sell what I would say is just very upscale kids' clothing, right?
We do. We sell baby and children's apparel and accessories. And our age range goes, we sell everything from preemies all the way until size 7 for boys, and we go up to size 12 in girls.
And the concept, where did your mom come up with the idea to open a retail shop? And I got to tell you, folks, you're not seeing, this is not a YouTube video, but the store is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, we always know our first timers when they come in the store because it literally takes their breath away. They've never seen anything like it. And they just always need to take a moment just to kind of take everything in. So it kind of hits you when you come in because it really is such a unique
that must be a fun part of the job, watching a new customer come in, their eyes pop out of their head.
It is. And they always ask, can we take pictures of the store? And absolutely, you can take pictures of the store. That's what we did it for.
Upscale kids clothing boutique, is that what you would call it? What would you say?
Upscale, but also affordable at the same time. One of the goals when we started this was we wanted a price point that could fit everybody. So we wanted everybody to be able to come in, whether you were getting something for your own children, your grandchildren, a baby shower gift. We wanted everybody to come in and be able to leave with something. So it's upscale if you want it to be upscale, and it's very affordable if you want it to be very affordable.
The environment's upscale. It's just beautifully designed. That's your mom's eye, right? She loves design, so she designs these stores look.
Yes, she was. So how this whole thing came about, my mom worked for the state for almost 15 years, and she was at a point where she was ready to make a transition in her life, and she just wasn't real happy. And so she thought, well, I may retire. But then she came home and she was sitting around for 6 months, and she was like, okay, I can either, shop for the rest of my life or eat. And she didn't want to do either one. And so, I was at a transition point too in my life, and I needed to re-enter the working world. And so we literally had a conversation one day, and she was like, how about we do a baby and children's store? And we knew two things, right? Our family had some businesses in the past, that were successful, but we really knew two things. We loved babies and children, and we had a black belt in shopping. And so we kind of sat down and talked about what would make a baby and children's store different and unique compared to the experiences that we had had and the places that I had shopped with my children. And my mom, from as long ago as I can remember being a child, loved storybooks, loved fairy tales. And so the whole concept was born with, we wanted people to be able to come in and have a store that looked like you would open up a storybook, and what that would look like in a retail store, what it would feel like, look like, smell like, every single aspect of it. We wanted a magical place for children. And I think that's exactly what we've done.
I've seen retail shops that have, focus groups and consultants. Still doesn't look anything like this. This is spectacular. I hate to keep. You actually won a Retail Excellence Award. When did that happen?
We did.
Tell us about that.
We did. Back in July, we got invited to come to Dallas, and we were nominated by our distributors, and they asked us to come to Dallas, and we knew that we were in the top 3 in the nation, and we got nominated for Best Store Concept and Design. There were 7 different categories that the Retailer Excellence Awards give, and so that was the category that we were in, and back in July we won for Best Retail Store Concept and Design in the nation, which was absolutely huge. We're still trying to wrap our mind around that.
You have 2 locations, one in Hinesley and this, of course, the store in Mt Juliet, and you won a national award.
Yes.
That's not an award for Tennessee.
No.
This is a national, all 50 states.
Yes.
You guys hit it out of the park.
Yes, for Best Store Concept Design Boutique. I mean, yes, that's why we're still trying to wrap our minds around it. It just seems inconceivable to us. We've been doing this for 9 years. It's such a huge passion for us. And, we absolutely love what we do every single day. And it's one thing to be able to say, I love what I do, but it's another thing to be recognized by not only the public and your customers, but also for a prestigious award like that from retailers is huge.
How do customers react when they come in here? You told me they're amazed, but what are they looking for when they come in here? You mentioned baby showers.
Mm-hmm.
Great opportunity. You have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews. What's the traditional customer looking for when they come in here?
It can be across the board. I mean, we offer everything from, their daily play clothes that just have a little bit of a special touch to them. But I think what we do best is the unique, obviously holiday, Christmas clothes. We sell a ton
seasonal
of
attire.
Easter. Yes.
Oh, I can
seasonal
imagine.
attire. We have the cutest birthday section. Birthdays are huge these days. So any special event.
Daddy-daughter dance dresses.
Yes, daddy-daughter dances. We have christening gowns. We have keepsake gifts here for baptisms, baby dedications, any type of special event in life with your children. We've got you covered.
How do the children like shopping here? What's their reaction? I guess that was a question I wanted to ask, is when the children come in, they must be amazed too. Are they excited about shopping, or are they still, I don't want to try that? How do they feel about that?
Oh, they love it. Well, I mean, the goal was, again, when we sat down and we talked about this idea and we just kind of fleshed it out, what we really wanted was not only a place where the parents and grandparents enjoyed coming to shop, but we also really wanted to make it kid-friendly. I know with my own kids, when they were little, shopping for them, you go in these nice boutiques and stuff, and, they don't want the kids touching anything, and they don't want them, using their bathrooms and stuff like that. And that's not at all what we wanted. We wanted the exact opposite. We wanted the kids to be able to walk into this magical storybook and just go, oh, and just be in awe. And we wanted a space and a place where kids could be kids. And so we invite them to come in the store and pick up stuffed animals and, love on them and see if they want to take them home. And we even have an indoor playground. We have an outdoor playground at the Hendersonville location. So, we've got fruit snacks, juice boxes, diapers in the bathroom in case you forgot them in your diaper bag. We literally built this store. It's very kid friendly. And that's exactly what we wanted. Kids to be able to enjoy it just as much as their parents and grandparents.
Yeah, I can see why you would win that award. Now, you can be up for that again? Is that an annual award? Or once you won it, are you able to win it again?
It's an annual award.
Okay.
So hopefully we can keep on keeping on with it.
Now that you're in Mount Juliet, what do you think about your customers there? What's that been like with the community there? Because I know it's a wonderful, clean city. They do a lot. There's a lot of activity going on there. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary. What made you choose Mount Juliet as your second location?
Well, obviously we did the demographic research, right? And we had some other cities that we were looking at that were growing. And when we looked at everything, we just really liked Mount Juliet and the direction that it was heading. We love the people there. We wanted to be active with the chamber, and we liked the Providence shopping center was beautiful. And so we had so many people from that area coming into the Hendersonville location and requesting us to do a second store out there because we had a large customer base. And so we loved our customers out there, and we wanted to be able to bring it to that area.
Yeah, and I want to let people know, too, you're not on the Providence side. You're on the north side.
Yes, we're just down a little bit.
Just off the exit on the north side, yeah. What's your favorite thing about the store? What do you were looking for an opportunity. Obviously, you get a chance to work with your mom. Mm-hmm. What's that like, working with your mom?
People say never work with, children, family, or animals, right? And I work with my mother. She has a little teacup Yorkie dog, so I've got the animals covered, and my children are in here in the store. So I've done all the three things you're not supposed to do. But I have to say, it's been such a wonderful experience. The last 9 years with my mom, the memories that I've made with her in the store and being able to do it with her is something that I will forever treasure. Because like I said, I was going through a transitional time in my life when we started this and I came in. And so, I've
both were, right? Because she was looking for a new career.
Yes. I feel like we've really both found ourselves a lot personally in this store. And I think we've both found our purpose in starting this. We didn't know 9 years ago that it was going to help us find our purpose, but it really has. And so it's a huge passion for us. I love the family business aspect of it. That's important to us. And, funny enough, like when Mom and I go to market and we go to pick out the clothes and things like that we're going to carry in the store, we always pick out the same thing. Everybody asks, do y'all disagree a lot? Do y'all, but we really don't. I have to say, like, in terms of decisions and what we're going to carry and things like that, I think there's only been a few times here in 9 years that we have disagreed on anything.
Now, being a small business owner and running 2 stores, that's a lot of work. When do you find time to sleep and go to soccer practices and
little
be a mom?
Very little
stuff.
Yeah, I drink a lot of coffee, so
yes, they have a choice. Right.
Yes, they know me in all the local coffee shops. So,
what would you say to a customer that's looking for children's wear? Now it goes from preemie all the way up to what age?
7, size 7 in boy, and size 12 in girl.
To what age is that? Approximately.
For boy, probably like age 6. 7 if they're accurate size. For girls, it could be 10-year-old, 11-year-old.
So elementary.
Yeah.
Age.
Yeah.
What's the most fascinating thing about being in retail? Is there you guys got a story, your mom and daughter. What has surprised you the most about your past few years working here in retail?
How attached we get to our customers. Honestly, these children, when we started the store, we have literally walked them through being babies, and I'm talking like a few weeks old, and then they'll come in and they're ready to go to kindergarten. They're ready to start school, and, or they'll hit these milestones like that in your life, and you have literally watched these kids grow up before your eyes. And so that's been the most fun part, and not just the kids and dressing them through these milestones, but the families too. We walk through the joys of their life, the tragedies of their life. And one of the best surprises and the things we love the most is, Mom always says this, it's so true. Your friends and people that won't come to your house to visit because that's an inconvenience, but they will drop by the store all the time. And that's what we love. Like, we never know every day who's going to walk through the doors. I mean, my mom has high school friends that come in to see her all the time here in the store. I have my friends that come in and stop by just to say hi. So, I mean, it's really become a gathering place of our friends and family. And so
my wife is a pre-K teacher, to your point about the generational thing and kids returning. And at some point they outgrow, but then maybe the little brother or the little sister comes in now.
Yes.
And someone you used to dress is watching their sibling.
Yes. And I guarantee you one of these days we're going to have one of those kids actually come and work at the store. And that's what I can't wait to see.
You can't wait for that.
Yes. It's going to happen.
Did you hear that? If you've shopped here at Once Upon a Time, they're ready to hire you when you get that age. Hope, thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
You and your mom are both charming. You got to come in, say hello to Hope and say hello to Amy at either location, Mount Juliet. Tell us the address for the Mount Juliet location.
The Mount Juliet location, we are on the corner of Old Lebanon Dirt Road and North Mount Juliet Road. We're in the Robinson Crossing Shopping Center right on the end, and we are located right beside Dairy Queen.
In Hendersonville.
Hendersonville, we are in the Glenbrook Shopping Center. We're off of exit 6. That's going to be the new Shackle Island Road exit. And we are right across the street from Target.
And social media.
Social media, you can find us on Instagram, Once Upon a Time by Amy. We're on Facebook, and you can find our website at onceuponaTimeByAmy.com.
All right. Hope, thanks for being on the show, and thanks for sharing your story.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Founded by Amy Sparks in 2013, Once Upon a Time by Amy is a Retail Excellence Award-winning shopping experience. With a passion for boutique shopping, Amy saw an opportunity to provide Mount Juliet in Middle Tennessee with premier clothing and gift items for boys, girls, infants, and children in an amazing environment with exceptional customer service. Nearly a decade later, Amy continues to serve families in the area with top-of-the-line products and exciting shopping experiences. You'll see that immediately the moment you walk into any of our 2 locations. Think of it as the Disneyland of children's stores. A one-stop shop for every boy and girl's dream outfit and gift. Google Once Upon a Time by Amy for our store locations in Mount Juliet and Hendersonville. You'll find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. If you're in need of stylish clothing and beautiful gifts for infants and children, give Once Upon a Time by Amy a visit.
Justin Beasley, Public Information Officer for the City of Mt Juliet, Tennessee.
All right, I'm here today with Justin Beasley, who is the Public Information Officer for the City of Mt Juliet, former television broadcaster, sportscaster for Channel 4 here in Nashville. How did you go from Channel 4 broadcasting into a position as communications liaison for the city?
It's a crazy story. So I was a sports broadcaster for, 7 years, and COVID happened, and it rocked my world like most people. I went from working late nights and weekends to working the morning show, getting up at 3 a.m. Have you worked the morning? Have you ever got up that early?
I'm usually in the entertainment industry that I was in. You're going to bed.
Went to bed at 3
a.m. Yeah.
That's how that works. And I was getting home by noon and off weekends. And after a little bit of time doing that, I then was doing local news in Wilson and Sumner County. And at that point, I was doing 9 to 5, still off weekends. I was about 27, 28, looking to start a family, and I really love sports, but I wasn't watching as much when COVID happened because there wasn't sports going on. I kind of saw the other side of life outside of the television industry. My wife kind of saw it as well. And again, I had the greatest job in the world. I covered the Titans, the Preds, the Vols, NFL draft. Last football game I ever shot, the AFC Championship, Titans and Chiefs. Didn't know it at the time either. And I said, I think I'm looking to do something different. Now, I interviewed with my church. I interviewed with a friend that had a hardscape business, really was considering stuff outside of my realm, which was fine because I also looked at my wife and I said, I'm a TV personality. A lot of people know me. I said, well, I have the same kind of lifestyle, not in an egotistical way, but I said, how different will things be if I get out of TV? And she said, no, people are going to like you regardless. You know how to have a good time. You're a good guy. You're going to figure it out. And then this PIO job opened up. And I really wasn't searching for jobs. All these other jobs were brought to me from other people. And I had a PIO for Wilson County Schools, Bart Barker. He texted me on vacation and told me about this job. And until you get in the interview room and realize, they want you to be at all the events. They want you to promote a lot of things. They want you to tell really good stories as opposed to the negative, far-reaching stories that you see a lot on local news now today, unfortunately. And the more I started thinking about it, I said, I'm kind of using my skill set that I learned in college and have used the last 7 years in local news, except now doing it for a great city like Mount Juliet. So it really took God intervening in my life since COVID happened to realize I don't want to spend the rest of my life working late nights and weekends for something that doesn't put a lot of food on the table in local news now like it used to. It was a much better, higher paying job 20 years ago because you didn't compete with third-party blogs and you didn't have podcasts, stuff like this. It was the only place you got news was on 4 different channels about 20 or 30 years ago. So the landscape has changed, and I wouldn't take it back for anything. I had a great job, and now I have a great job as well in a different season of life.
So what attracted you to Mount Juliet?
What attracted me to Mount Juliet? So we've done stories in Nashville all the time, and we always do them in the belt. So you do some stuff in Franklin and Murfreesboro and Mount Juliet. I didn't really know a ton about Mount Juliet. I'll be honest. I knew they had some big high schools. I knew it was a great area. Our PIO for the police department is Captain Tyler Chandler, and I remember following their account when I started doing a little more local news. And you talk about any and everything worth telling the public was out immediately from him. So you knew that they had really good communications. They cared about their first responders. They celebrated their first responders like we should, like everybody should. And I said, hey, that's really something that I can get behind. And quite honestly, I owe it to him because he does such a good job for the police department. They thought it was in the best interest to look for somebody that could do that for the entire city because he couldn't take on that along with actually being a captain, being in a car, doing daily duty.
That's a lot of hats to wear.
That is a ton of hats to wear. So really I owe it to him. He did such a great job for me to come here as well. But, I live in Murfreesboro, so it's close enough where the commute makes sense. And I love my commute. I listen to a podcast, call my mom, call my dad, kind of vent in before and out of work. I wouldn't take it back for anything. Everybody's like, that's a long drive. Well, if you live in Nashville and you're even just going home during 4 or 5, it's going to take you about 30 minutes to get home anyway. So I don't consider it time lost. But I got to know the city manager, Kenny Martin, got to know the people I was interviewing with, and he really stressed, he said, family's a big deal here. He's like, our city hall is a bank that we moved in 93. It's not extravagant. The city's very frugal in that sense. He said it's not the Taj Mahal, but you're really going to like the people you work with. And I'm the first PIO to ever be here for the city, not police. And I can make the job what I want it to be. And he's a Christian. I looked him in the eye, and I just could tell that he wasn't selling me a bill of goods. He was selling me exactly what he had. And, I consider him a brother. Tell him I love him quite often. He's my boss. I do that with a lot of people at City Hall. It's a great morale, great sense of pride for the city, and I'm not deserving of how good I've got it since I've been here. And I think a lot of people can say that because the city really invests in their people. It's amazing.
That's a great story. The city's beautiful too. The city
is.
The city manager, I think, Kenny Martin.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about him. He's kind of a unique guy.
He is fantastic. He admittedly will tell you he grew up with not the most amount of money, and he's very frugal by nature. And he got to this position. He was the former police chief, and then decided to go to economic development at the city, and then wound up being the 11 years now the city manager. Most city managers after 3 or 4 years will either go to another city or just not sign a new contract. But he is so good at serving the Board of Commissioners. We have 5, and so good at the day-to-day responsibilities and tasks that he has with our Public Works Director, Parks Director, all of that. He manages it so well. He's so easy to get along with, has no ego, great Christian man with high integrity. And again, that's a big reason why I was hired on here, was because of I could see the leadership and just sense it from him. And everybody loves him. He's a great guy. He can show up in a tuxedo one day and really, look good and be very presentable for stuff that he needs to do around town. He can also, just dress like a normal guy and not be fearful. He'll talk to anybody at City Hall. We were just the other day, what I'll say is anybody, no matter the title at the city, he's going to find a way to get to know you and promote you and build confidence in you. And he does that all the time.
In addition to interacting with the employees of the city, he's also very engaged in the community. I think you were telling me a story about helping a couple ladies in front of their business the other afternoon.
Yeah, and that's just the kind of guy he is. He walks up and down North Mt Juliet Road every day, gets in about 5 miles, and even does it on the weekends. He's always picking up trash, and it's not just hey, this is the boss. He parks in the very back. He wants everybody to see it. It's really ingrained in him. It doesn't matter where he is, if he's in his personal vehicle, if he's in his city vehicle, if he's got his city gear on, he could care less if you even knew he was a city manager. And that's kind of the situation we had yesterday. Somebody was putting up Christmas lights. He got on the ladder and decided to help him. And, they took a picture and said, we have the best city manager, but they just know that is kind of ingrained in him. That's the Kenny that everybody knows and everybody grows to appreciate. And again, that is how the rest of the city operates from his example and his leadership. And that's kind of how the residents act as well. It's just he's everything that's great about Mt Juliet in every sense of the word. All the way down to your crew called City Beautiful. Why this town is so attractive. When you drive up and down North Mt Juliet Road or even across over to the mall, city's just absolutely immaculate. Tell me about City Beautiful. That's a great name for your part of your public works department. And they decided to name that well before I was here, so I won't take credit for that. But City Beautiful is an idea from Kenny Martin, and it took a little bit of time to convince the commissioners that, hey, we need to open up jobs, we need to pay them a certain amount, we need to invest a part of our budget for this. We have 5 people. I think it probably started out as 2 or 3. We now have 5 people. It's 7 in the winter. 2 people from parks, to my understanding, come over and help. They have golf carts. They go up and down all the main roads and some of the side roads and pick up trash. Now, I wish they didn't have jobs because I wish there was no littering in the first place. But stuff falls out. Stuff happens. We get that. And it's their job. If it's an eyesore, fix it. I mean, they'll paint the bollards on the street lights. They'll do anything. They'll fix a sign. They'll pick up trash. And it's a full-time job. We even have somebody working Saturdays now that we have enough people. And it's the broken window theory, as Kenny Martin says so often. You go to a city or you go to a part of town where you see windows knocked out and you see glass everywhere and you see something not edged. You just see something looking out of place. You're going to be more willing to add to that because you feel if they don't care, why should I care? Well, it's the exact opposite. Now, if you see, man, that grass is green, that's edged, the architecture looks really good, the greenery looks really good, you're going to be inclined to take pride of your city, and that's exactly what he's done. If you're
not throwing out that Dr. Pepper bottle,
yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. And if you go to if you leave the city limits and you go to other places, I hate to say it, but you notice a difference.
You do.
And
I noticed it.
We're not ashamed of that. We want to take pride in our city, and you think about it. All the new businesses coming into Mt Juliet. What do you think they're looking at?
Well, that's why they're coming.
Exactly.
It's everywhere you look here, you can see evidence of whatever your tax revenue is at work.
Absolutely.
It makes you proud to live here. It makes you happy. Parks and recreation. How many parks and recreational facilities you have? I also understand you're about to annex a section of Old Hickory Lake. Is that coming up?
Yeah,
So
we're looking into
going to have some property on the water?
Yeah, we're looking into an urban growth boundary right now, working with the county and Lebanon as well. It's basically for outskirts of town where you're looking at, you don't want a developer coming in and Mt Juliet's, planning commission saying no, and then they get approval from, say, for example, the county, and then they don't meet our regulations, and then we wind up getting that land annexed, and it's not up to our standards, and next thing you know, we have a whole bunch of outskirts that don't look like what we signed up for. So that's part of that. But we have 9 parks, a ton of green space, always looking to add more. Charlie Daniels Park, 8 years running, has been the best family entertainment, I think, in the newspapers. It's a fantastic park. adding pickleball courts. It seems like by the day we're having a ribbon cutting sometime very soon for that. It's our Parks Director, Rocky Lee, is the one that heads that up. And, that's part of quality of life. I mentioned to you off air that we get the little things right here in Mount Juliet as far as our first responders, great schools, great environment where you would want to raise a son or daughter. And you think about it, parks kind of goes in line. It adds quality of life. It's entertainment where you can go walk, where you can really get all the amenities that are part of the service fee of living here in Mount Juliet, and we don't take that lightly. Just like anything else, we want to do our best and put our best foot forward, and that's from the top to the bottom.
And we may date the podcast here a little bit, but this is the 50th anniversary of the city, right? It
is, and we had a celebration in July for that, and it wasn't a one-off. Next year is going to be 51. The next year after that is going to be 52 and 53, and it's just a fantastic celebration. The city was incorporated in 1972. Obviously, been here a lot longer, but there's a lot of pride here. A lot of people that I think we had more than 10,000 show up to that event. We have more than 40,000 in this city, so one for every 4 person was actually at that event. So we consider that a success, and hopefully that's something we can continue to do that we've been given from our Board of Commissioners as far as a budget to kind of fund that and get the excitement brewing, and we hit the ground running for it.
How many annual events do you have besides the anniversary celebration?
We have Halloween in the Park, which we just had as well, and that was even larger than supposedly the Mount Juliet 50th celebration. And we also have a Christmas parade every year as well. We do 4th of July fireworks as well. So plenty of things that families can be a part of. With the city being so young and there's not that many spaces for businesses to come to, we don't have the normal huge bowling alley or huge entertainment center like most cities have. We are close to Nashville, so you kind of get a little bit of the best of both worlds. So to have those kind of annual events is very important for us, and they're very family friendly, and everybody's, I'll say this, Halloween in the Park and the Mount Juliet 50th celebration, the biggest takeaway outside of how many people came were there no incidents where the police had to get involved. And you think about how many people, anywhere else that does not happen. And I think that is as much of a testament to our police department as it is to the mothers and fathers here that are raising people that have a lot of sense and a lot of pride in where they're from. Well,
Justin, I can tell that you enjoy your job and you're proud of your community here in Mount Juliet. I know you don't live here, but you spend...
It's home too, as I like to say.
Yeah, it's your day home.
Yes, sir.
Monday through Friday. Well, thank you for taking time to visit with us here on Pod 615. Continued success for you, the city, and your family.
Thank you. And thank you for what you're doing as well. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Pod 615 with host William Kitchens. We hope you'll subscribe to the podcast on this streaming platform and give us a 5-star rating and review. Follow us on Instagram at the Pod 615. And on Facebook.com/Pod615. Find us on the internet at pod615.com for blogs, show notes, and transcripts. Would you like to be on the show? Have someone you'd like to hear interviewed? Pod 615 also offers featured guest opportunities for qualifying subject matter. Email William at pod615.com for more information about this and other podcast production opportunities. Thanks again for listening.